Yo, and welcome back to your mum's favorite channel on YouTube, Cult Strength. We're live, baby. We're live. So this is our first one. So bear with me. I will get better at this. Now tonight we're talking all things bench press, and as soon as someone comes on, if you could let me know if the audio and the video is all good, that would be sweet. That would be awesome. But yeah, all things bench press. And to give it some structure, I'm thinking I'll probably start with talking about some sort of programming philosophy, when it comes to bench press, what I like to really, base my programs off. There's a set of rules and guidelines, you could say. And I guess we'll start with that. But before we do, if you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button to be notified whenever I post a video, which is quite frequently. About 5 days a week. And we'll be doing these lives, hopefully weekly, and we'll have the podcast starting soon as well, which is exciting. Also dropped a couple programs recently, 16-week power building program and a 16-week powerlifting peaking program. A couple of people in the chat now. Is the audio all good? Can you hear me sweet? I hope so. Haven't been able to test it. Couldn't figure it out. I suck with technology. Lucky I can lift weights. That's all I can say. But yeah, if you want those programs, head to my website, cultstrength.square.site. That would be awesome. Okay, audio is all good. Thanks, bro. So also, this is a Q&A, right? So if you have any questions, and we want to try and keep the questions revolved around bench press, please do, and I'll answer them as we go. That's kind of the main point of this. So the more questions, the better, the more conversation will flow. Now, when it comes to programming, let's start there, right? Bench press is, we'll use the word expensive. It's less expensive than training with, say, squats and deadlifts. Okay, they're a lot more taxing than upper body movement. Now, this is typically because we're handling less weight. Now, when you handle less weight, there's going to be less fatigue on the body, even if you're working just as hard, even if it's a 1 rep max. If you're handling less weight, we're typically going to have less expense on our central nervous system, right? So when it comes to bench pressing, upper body training, we can afford to train it more frequently, meaning more often. So I like to, form my bench press training around 2 days. Now, there can be a third day, but the third day isn't really a direct bench press day or bench press building day. It's more of a bodybuilding, get a pump kind of session, right? But the 2 bench press days that you're doing, obviously what you're doing is going to depend on where in the program you are. If you're early on in your program, let's say you have a competition in 16 weeks, right? We use a 16-week timeline. Now, the further out you are, the less specific you want to be, okay? Being that we don't need to be doing just competition flat bench press 16 weeks out. We want to work through a variety of movements, different angles, okay? So we typically have the 2 bench days, 1 day, maybe something more competition specific, maybe like a touch and go bench press or a close grip bench press. You could add pauses if you wanted to, but that may be your main bench press movement for day 1. Whereas, day 2 bench press, that could be something like an incline bench press, something less specific. Okay, and then the closer you get to competition, the more specific you have to be. So let's say you're 6 weeks out of competition, you'd want to have 2 bench press days that are quite specific. Doesn't have to be 2 competition bench press days, but probably 2 flat bench press days. One of those days focusing on pauses, maybe the other day without pauses, but still quite specific. And those last few sessions before competition, or before a max testing, then they may all be competition bench press. Now, we have to think about not just training the bench press directly, the supportive muscles as well, different movements. I always say big back, big bench. Back training is part of our bench press training. So there's a lot of back training with my bench training typically. But in terms of, just the pressing, if we're talking about that, it's 2 days per week, okay? One day being more specific, okay, a little bit heavier, a little lower in volume. The second day, less specific, a little lighter, a little more volume. That's a pretty good rule to follow. You can generally recover from that. It's important just to not do too much, especially as the weights get heavier and heavier. So we'll start with that. I've got a question here. I think it's BioXchain or Blockchain. What's up, man? Should someone benching sub 100 focus on any other supporting exercise to help increase bar weight? And if so, how much emphasis should there be besides the staple flat bench during chest day? Let me have a think, man. Yes, but everybody should be doing those kind of movements as well, even a seasoned professional. So someone benching sub 100, you should always be focusing on other supportive exercises as well. What are those supportive exercises for bench press? Back exercises, a vertical pull and a horizontal pull, meaning like a lat pull down and a row or a seated row. Those supportive muscles are the muscles that are also going to help you continue to get stronger and build a bigger bench press. So I would say that the importance of those exercises doesn't really change. I think the better you get, the more you realize or understand the importance of them, or the importance they had from the beginning. So everybody should be doing supportive exercises. However, the better you are, or the more experienced, the stronger you are, you can probably do a little less, but that's because you have to be more specific to continue getting stronger. But not many people really have to worry about that. It's like the top 1%. So in general, yeah, do your supportive exercises for sure. Hope that helps. Matt Summers, morning from Florida. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you could always check in. Tell me where you're from, guys. If you're not familiar, I am from Australia. People sometimes think I'm from England because of my accent, but no, man. No way, bro. From near Sydney in Australia. So it's like just gone midnight. Pretty late. If anyone here is from Australia, you've done well. Next question. Ooh. Okay. That's us. Torquilo. Any food dates with Big Vasa? Big bench equals big diet or question mark? Well, sir, we actually spoke about doing a food challenge just the other day. When was I there? Saturday. So in the coming weeks, we're going to have a bench press session, and then you're going to watch us stuff our face with food. Now, he eats a lot of food. I think he's around 10,000 calories a day. I won't be able to keep up with him, I don't think, with the food either, but I will give it a shot. But it'll be a fun video. Definitely, it'll just be me teasing him most of the time, like a typical session with him trying to keep up, but he can't because he's always late, so he's always got a penalty. So he doesn't do himself any favors. So yeah, we're going to do that. We'll do it soon. I'm heading back down to base gym tomorrow. I'm deadlifting, 3 weeks out of competition. But Vassar is squatting, so I'm going to wrap his knees. He may be squatting over 900 pounds tomorrow. So if he does, I'll be filming that as well for YouTube. Absolutely. Adrian, my man, good afternoon, Mr. Milkman. Wow, alrighty. I've recently started doing hip thrusts as I'm going to run your power building program soon. And I find that this movement helped me with my leg drive on bench. However, when I engage the leg drive through my hips, I find it harder to keep my butt on the bench compared than when I engage it with my quads. Any tips regarding leg drive and how to fix that? Indeed, so I do have a tip for you. Now, leg drive, it's easy to think about driving up. When we drive, we want to drive ourselves back off the bench. So your leg drive from your quads should be pushing you back off the bench. And with your glutes, I know you're probably used to just thrusting with all of your might, but try to squeeze your glutes and engage them to drive you back further instead of trying to make love to the air. That would probably be your best bet, but it's about driving back. And that's why it's important that we have our scapulas retracted and depressed and digging into the bench, because that stops us sliding back off the bench, especially when it gets moist. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Alrighty. Hello, Lernan, and hello, Jason A. Ryan Fontanella, thank you, sir, for your compliment. Bob, yes, a deadlift session tomorrow, my good man. Is there any exercises that will help increase squat? The bench press won't help you increase your squat, but we will be talking about the squat in the coming weeks. I'll be doing a different lift each week, so hang tight, my man. Burek K. Hey, big man, I was wondering, why do people always recommend against Smolov Jr. for bench? I run it 2 times now, and my bench increased 10 kilograms each cycle without injuries. I'm just above 2 plates, 1 rep max. They are excellent programs, but only for beginners, I would say. The amount of volume that it requires you to do isn't realistic or feasible or a good idea with someone more advanced like myself. I would only hurt myself, and very quickly. As I was speaking about earlier, with the low cost and low expense of certain things, the less that we bench press, the more volume we can handle. So if someone benches around 220 pounds, 100 kilos, they can typically get a lot of volume in, because their working weights with rep ranges and things like that are typically going to be around 80 to 90 kilos. So the expense on the central nervous system is less than compared to someone like me, who would have to be handling 180 kilograms plus for the same volume. That's why that program isn't recommended. And I would say it's just because it's only so many times you can run it before it does become too much. And there's probably better, smarter programs out there that can still get you, great gains and progress, but without the risk of injury and overtraining. But when we do too much, you're at risk of injury. So it takes away some risks as well. So I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, not for many people. Hope that helps. Flippo. Hello, beautiful people. You're all beautiful. You are. Especially me. Thank you for noticing. It's late here. I'm a little scattered. Probably going to put my sunglasses on soon, because I've been having a smoke. My eyes are pretty red. And that's just what happens after midnight. So judge me if you will. You are not God. All right. Matthew Summers. Matthew Summers. Tend to move my grip in when I get heavier. Not sure why, but it feels stronger. Advice on choosing best grip placement. Best grip placement, or ideal perfect world grip placement, is always going to be the grip placement that is going to reduce the range of motion the most amount in most cases. However, some people don't have the stability to bench with a wider grip. When you don't have the stability to bench with a wider grip, you feel stronger with a closer grip. I also found this trap recently where I used to have the widest possible competition bench grip, and I brought my grip in slowly, because my shoulders become less stable. And I tricked myself into thinking it was a good idea. Instead, I've been working on shoulder stability, increasing my grip width on the bench press, and I got stronger again. So I would say, if you want to get better, increase your shoulder stability, and work through that wider range for your main bench press. However, close grip work is excellent for accessory work. I hope that helps. Jason, a best accessory exercise to improve bench. Mate, so many things. If you're not talking any bench press variations, is dumbbell pressing a bench press variation? So dumbbell pressing is good. Apart from pressing, obviously tricep work and back work. Can't go wrong with tricep work, back work, dumbbell pressing work, bench press variation work. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Julian Young, checking in from Ohio. Love your content, man. I have a sticking point at about halfway between chest and lockout. Do you have any tips for improving that sticking point? Yes, sir. Sticking points aren't usually a lack of strength. It's a loss of positioning. I talk about this with deadlifts a lot. When the lockout is really slow, it's typically not a strength issue, it's a positioning loss. Same goes for bench press. Typically, you're probably out of the groove. You've lost your position. That's why you can't continue to press. So I would have a look at, what is your technique looking like? Is it getting worse as the weights get heavier? If it is, tidying it up. We're always working on getting stronger anyway, right? You should always be doing all your work to get stronger. It's not like you have to hammer a certain range, with overloaded weight. That's not the problem. The problem is improve your technique, because that's the problem. Most of the time, 99% of the time, you should always be getting stronger. Yes, sir. Hope that helps. Bob, Carol G's. My goal is a 3-plate bench, currently 2 plates, as a starting 1 rep max after 18 months of non-specific all-round weight training, 1 to 2 years, realistic time frame. Set your goals higher, sir. 3 plates is cool. 4 plates is better. It's cooler. You know what I'm saying? Just that's your next goal. You know what I mean? Or maybe it is your next goal. Maybe that's not your lifetime goal. Maybe I assumed too quickly. But, everyone's different. I don't know your genetics. I don't know how you train, what programs you follow. But you could do it in 3 months. You could do it in 6 months. It could be 2 years. It really depends on the path you take, so if you want to get there quickly, though, go and get one of our bench press programs. If anyone here has run one of our bench press programs, a quick review. Adrian, I think you've been running the bench press program. I know you run the deadlift program. Maybe you can chip in and give a cheeky testimonial. Cultstrength.square.site. You're welcome. All right. Jesse Hansel. All right. Hey, bro, nothing to do with bench press. However, any plans to do a powerlifting comp after your deadlift only? I thought you were going to do big dogs. I was going to do big dogs, but I was picking between that and the deadlift comp. I prioritized the deadlift comp. It's a bucket list comp. I have done big dogs 1, so I've done one already. But if you watch my bench press video with Vasily the other day, if he beats my total, 1,050 kilos, I'm going to do another comp. So there's your answer. Alrighty. Just incredible. My mum says hi from UK. How you doing, love? Are you alright? Bloody oath. Lovely woman. Stroker Reviews. Now, sir, that name, it's a little bit suspect. What are you stroking and what are you reviewing? How many days should I bench a week? I'm working on hitting 400 pounds by January. I'm able to rep a single for 385 pounds for 3 singles. Okay. Well, you're not far off, man. You should be able to do it. It's 7.5 kilos hitting 3 singles. You should be able to do it. If your technique holds up, that's technically strong enough to do it, in my opinion. So you should be benching twice a week anyway. Yep. Absolutely. Pardon me. Disgusting. What else we got here? Flippo again, I think is your second question, sir. For the next comp I'm preparing, I've done a lot of close grip bench press and incline and pushed really heavy in the accessories with good form. Will my bench blow up incredibly? Depends, bro. Depends on your definitions of those things and your genetics. Yes, sir. Nicola. Hey, Nicola. Nicola is a member on my channel. Now, if you sign up to the membership on my channel, you get a discount on your programs and merch. It's a fun fact. And I would appreciate your support. It would allow me to continue to buy food to put inside of my body so I continue to train and make videos. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Hello, Nicola. Hello. How is Ireland? I've never been there. I would like to go. Adrian, again, my man, what's up, bro? Do you use a 10mm or 13mm belt for your pressing movements? I use the same belt for all of them, 13mm lever. People can get like real princessy about it. I'm a pretty simple dude, man. Yeah, I just use the same old 13mm belt, does the trick. Yes, sir. But I mean, Vasa uses the 10mm belt, but he's probably even more basic than me. You'd say he's simple, maybe. You love him though. He is simple. That's okay. That's okay. I'll say it to his face. I'll say it to his face. I do say it to his face. I say worse things, trust me. You've probably heard them. Twister, is this good for 2 times a week? You've got a lot of percentages here, bro. I don't talk percentages. I just talk in numbers, dude. It seems very confusing. 91%, 86%, 79%. I just pick whole numbers, bro. No offense. I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, keep it simple. But let me just have a little scan of it for you just so you can see. 5 reps, 3 reps, 1 rep, 1 rep, 1 rep. That's just very confusing, bro. That's all I can say. It's probably doing too much, not in a literal sense, but it's just a bit complicated. It should never be complicated. Jonas Helm. I am currently 1 rep max at 130 kilos. My goal has always been 140 kilos. Seem to be stuck here though. Any general tips to break plateau? Yes, sir. Make sure your technique is good. Make sure you're eating enough food. Make sure your program is good. Pretty much the same answer for a lot of things. It's not complicated, nor should it be. As I say quite often, Adrian, my man. Okay, he's giving this is a review of my programs live, so it could be bad. I've run your Barbarian program and got to 120 kilos. Now I'm 11 weeks into the Behemoth. I'm finishing the day 1 at the moment, and I'm busting every plateau. Well, that sounds good, bro. 120 kilos, obviously a PR. Busting plateau, absolutely. Busting plateaus. What else are you busting? Any nuts? Cashews? Walnuts? I don't know. Simon C, welcome to Disciple. Hey, Simon. How you doing, bro? Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. See that? I can't miss his questions or anything. He's got a big badge there. That's also another thing. When this starts getting like hectic, when we get good at it, there's going to be like 1 million people on here at once, and I'm going to miss so many questions. Whatever. You probably don't even want to know what I think. Probably just here because my mum told you to get on my live, or she'll tell your mum, and then you'll be in trouble. That's probably it. You're welcome, Julian. You're welcome, sir. Rich Crypto Man, day 1 chest, day 2 back and rear delts, day 3 off, day 4 shoulders, day 5 arms, day 6 legs, day 7 off. Repeat, currently benching 3 or 5 or 6 reps, however, the same last year. No improvements. There's your answer, sir. You got to do something different. Your technique's got to get better, or your program's got to get better, or you got to eat more, or a combination of those things. And I'm not being a smartass. It's literally never a complicated answer, very rarely. I'm not ever being I have been a smart ass in the past, but this is not me being a smart ass. It's just you've got to look at the simple things and be honest with yourself about it. Um, I have a coach. I recommend anybody who's serious about lifting in the sense of it's a really big priority to you, that you consider coaching, because it does help. I've had a coach. I am a coach. I have a coach now. I still have people that I listen to because I'm always trying to get better as well, right? Yep. Jesse Hansel, see what happened with Vatha. Oh, see what happened with Vasa then? I think you're saying that you just watched the video with Vasa and you're seeing him stack it like an idiot because he's a big dickhead. Keen to see how the deadlift only comp goes. Wishing you the best, bro. By the way, your wrist wraps are going to take some getting used to. Good for 1 rep maxes. My man, in all honesty, they're comfortable compared to some of the stuff on the market. A lot of people are really only used to wraps that aren't even designed for strength training, powerlifting. So yeah, they're a stiff wrap, but they're also still a comfortable wrap. So don't be afraid. Crank them on there. You will be okay. They will give you godlike power. That's what's up. Wrist wraps available. I don't know how many pairs I have left though. We're getting low. But speaking of things and such, limited merch drops coming very soon. I'm literally just driving around my area trying to find someone who's really good at screen printing. I'm going to do limited runs of 20 pieces at a time. So if you miss out, too bad. You should have been quicker. That's what she said. Flexer. Hey man, how you doing, bro? Jonas Helm, do I believe in Jesus? Well, it's not really a conversation for Jesus, but I don't not believe in Jesus. I don't not believe in Jesus. That's a conversation for another time because I could go on about that, and that's not everybody's cup of tea, my man. No, it is not. But I'll say that I don't not believe in Jesus. It's probably a different idea of Jesus than most people. Flex's mum said hello. Hey, Flex's mum. Everybody in the chat say hello to Flex's mum, please. Hey, can you just like this video as well? I know it sucks. I know it's annoying. Who like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like you're here, just do it. Really helps. Really helps, man. Nicola, how you doing, love? Little yellow membership bloody circle there. Looks good. Current bench is 95 kilos. Hoping to hit that 100 kilos by November. Gentlemen, there's a lady here that's going to bench 2 plates. Get your act together. I like the bench the most. We might get you over to the Irish Pro at some stage after Giants Live, of course. I've always, there's a lot of comps that I want to do, and I get invited to a lot of comps. But the issue is that it's so expensive to get to the other side of the world. You've got travel, you've got to be there early, you've got accommodation, food, all sorts of shit, right? And the chances of winning that money back is slim. Even if you win a lot of those comps, you're really not going to be taking home that much more after everything you just paid for. So it generally is an expense because, competing on the other side of the world is very hard. Competition is stiff, and there's a lot of pressure. If you don't win, you're losing a bunch of money. And that's the reality for a lot of powerlifters. It's just not feasible. But, there's a lot of people out there doing, good things with different organizations. A lot of those organizations now are probably able to, pay for certain lifters to compete, to give them accommodation, things like that. Just as other sporting events and stuff, are recognized as doing. And it just depends on how much the sport keeps growing. And I think, strongman in the strength world is by far the more evolved in that sense. There's a lot more potential to make money for athletes, but again, only a small percentage make money when you really think about it. That's just the truth. But yeah, good luck, Nicola. Good luck. You will get it. I know you will. Matthew Summers, did you watch Mitchell Hooper's impromptu 505 attempt? I seen it on the internet afterwards. He's strong, man. He's strong. He'll probably get it soon. Speaking of strongman deadlifting, though, I'm excited to see what I can get out of a suit, because I know a lot of these guys are now getting more than 60 kilograms out of a deadlift suit. That's pretty wild. My best raw deadlift is 410 kilos. So if I can adapt to a suit quickly, who knows? Who knows where we'll be in a year or two? But no, Mitchell Hooper is very strong. Very strong. Rich Crypto Man, you're absolutely welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Ruthless Tiger. Oof, 21X. That's hot, bro. Hey, man, a squat-related question. Unfortunately, we're not doing squats tonight, but this is going to encourage you to come back in 2 weeks' time. Next week's deadlifts, we'll do squats the week after that. I promise. I'll try to remember. We probably will. I think we will. Jonas, thank you, my man. I hope the channel blows up as well, and that you like the humor, and I like that your mum likes it. I will continue to do my best, and I appreciate all of you. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Fun fact, I am mentally unstable. Dean, I love it that there's a lifting page on YouTube where they look similar to me and have the same religious views and music taste. Do you also look unstable? Very good, sir. I love to hear it. But heavy music is good. I don't know what your religious views are. I'm not a Satanist. Like, you may think, oh, what? You have Satan tattooed on your lip. This is a lot deeper than that. But I don't like religion as a whole, in the organized sense at least. I can appreciate certain things though. I was a Christian, by the way, for a long time. I went to church. I still have Jesus tattooed on my hand. I won't get rid of it. I don't hate Jesus. It's just different. I am looking forward to the religion chat though. That will be wild. Ethereum, yo. What up? Cheers. Jesse, I've been using the Titan wrist straps prior, but short ones. Your wrist straps are comfortable, but need to break them in. Also plan on doing a PED talk live or something like that. Yeah, we will definitely talk, about those things in the future for sure. Keeping in mind that my advice is advice, or it's not even that, it's just me talking. Don't take it literally, in the sense of always do your own research on things. I'm not a doctor, and a lot of GPs are clueless. So it's going to depend on you doing a lot of research before you make big decisions. Be responsible. Yes, sir. Adrian M. Are you planning to take more risks in order to bench 600 pounds? You know what I mean? Yes, I do know what you mean. I am going to be taking a very slight risk, what I would consider a slight risk, but minimal. I will probably be more open to higher risks for the 1,000-pound deadlift. But in saying that, not a high risk, a higher risk. I have been there, done that. Yes, it's difficult. Pill to swallow when you realize that it's a little bit harder to do things with a lot less, but not impossible. Just have to be smarter, but I think that I'm going to be stronger than ever in the coming 6 months by far, with a lot less, and healthier, So that's something. Just patience, man. Patience. Sebastian Ortiz. Sup, King? How are you? Ali recognized me as a king. See that, people? I am your king. Sounds okay. Sounds good to me. Probably not to you. Okay, what's your fucking carrying on here? I have a question of adding the bulldog grip. Do I have to external rotate the shoulder besides that internal rotation of the wrist? Yeah, this is really confusing to explain because it's like a lot of things. Hold on a second. So, external rotation of shoulder, internal rotation of elbow wrist. That's the best you're getting. It is definitely a strange thing to think about, but if you do that, straighten your arm in front of you, right? Lock your elbow, externally rotate from your shoulder, and then internally rotate your wrist. And you get all that tension up through your forearm and your elbow. That's what's up. This is school, but cool. Yeah, absolutely. Buick K. It's mind-blowing to me how long it takes guys at your level to achieve their previous peaks. When was your peak bench and how heavy was it? My biggest bench press ever was 260 kilos, 573 pounds, about 5 years ago. I believe the only reason I achieved that was because there was a period of time of 16 weeks where I wasn't really training my squats or deadlifts because I had an injury. So I spent 3 days per week going crazy on upper body. I managed to recover pretty well because I was also taking higher dosages of things, hypothetically, wink, wink. And just that ability to focus on the one thing took my bench to 260 kilos from 245 in 16 weeks, which is a big jump. That's a big jump for someone that's already, I was almost tapped out, I thought. And it's taken me, a long time to get back to 250 kilos. I hit that 6 months ago, but I'd also not been training seriously for quite some time. It wasn't, just PEDs or anything like that. It was a lot of different factors, but, it's taken me a good 12 months to get myself back to a level where I'm saying that I'm ready to probably take that next step and be stronger than I was before all that. So, yeah, hope that makes sense. It does take a long time. And remember that most people that are really strong have been patient. They've been doing it for a long time. A lot of people come into the sport and want to be world record holders immediately. And that's just not the case for 99.99% of people. Lyndon, I got a lower back injury due to deadlift. Do I need to stop lifting or just do light weights? Well, you shouldn't stop lifting. You should get a reasonable rehab program, speak to a coach, or at least a physio. And, when I hurt my back when I'm deadlifting, I start deadlifting again. And I start light and I go through the range of motion where I hurt it and I get it stronger because it's weak, because it's injured. And that's why it got injured, because it was weak, or there was weakness somewhere. So you got to figure out why you got injured. What was weak? It wasn't your back. Your back got hurt because it was doing too much. It's too strong compared to the other part of your body. Yep. Jesse, another question. One more thing. When I competed in the New South Wales state titles in March, I went for a 165 bench for a third. Everything went normal until push motion. On the push motion, my right elbow flared out. Ideas why? you lost scapular retraction and depression. When we don't have scapular retraction and depression, elbows flare because the scapula dictates the elbow position. If your scaps aren't locked in, your elbows are going to flap around because your shoulder joint is flapping around. Yes, sir. Adrian M., have you watched the Tren Twins pec tear? No, I don't like watching those injuries. Bad juju. Matus, why don't you pause your bench during training? Because I'm not preparing for a powerlifting competition. That's the only reason you would need to pause your bench press, is if you're doing a powerlifting competition. Otherwise, does anybody really care? Nope. Oh, Shaz is in the house. Hey, Shaz. Hi. I think we got through all the questions so far. I think we did. I think we have, how long have we gone for? 37 minutes. That's all right. We'll stay on here for a bit longer. We'll stay here for a bit longer. We'll see if anybody else has anything to say. Have you had fun so far? Has it been terrible? Has it been good? Can you give me a rating out of 10? I know I look a little bit weathered. It is now 12:40 in the morning, and today I had to break up a dog fight in the neighbour's yard because they weren't home, and the big dog was going to finish off the little dog. That was fun. That was a bit of excitement for the day, but everyone's all good. Don't you worry. The little dog is in my house this evening recovering because the owners aren't home at the moment. They'll be home tomorrow. So we'll sort that out then. Everybody giving me 10s, 10, 10, and an 11. Jason A., you have absolutely outdone yourself, sir. As a reward, I'm going to say thank you. Adrian M., do some purple merch. You know what, bro? I am wanting to do some cool merch like purple oversized tees, hectic color. And I don't like your rating, Adrian. I know you're trying to be good, bro. You're trying to be sick. 6.66 out of 10. I'm upset. I at least wanted a 6.9. How dare you, sir? DQ Patrick, have you trained anyone over 50 that recovers slower? I have trained people in their 60s and 70s, and they were strong as shit. No joking. I had a dude who was 70, deadlifting over 200 kilos. I had a gentleman that was nearly 60, post-knee replacement, squat 180 kilos to depth. Age is a number. Our body will adapt much better than you realize. Oh, we'll get another 10 out of 10 rating. Blocks chain. Oh, that's hot. Mike Wilhelm, I've run your Barbarian and Destroyer programs, finishing with a 220 kilo bench and 250 kilo for 3 deadlift, being conservative. 220 kilo bench is a big bench, boy. But that deadlift is too close to your bench. I would say get a weaker bench, but it would make more sense to get a bigger deadlift. I know you will. Keep pushing, big man, best channel around. Thank you. They're so kind. They're so kind. Luke 138. I always thought like maybe my future lied in like creating jingles for advertisements for like companies on the radio or something. Do I have a face for radio? No, I'm too good looking for radio. I don't care what you say. Anymore? Yeah, okay, here we go. Luke 138, that's right, I got sidetracked. Hey bro, are you still planning on chatting to local metal bands in the future? It wasn't local metal bands, talking about international metal bands. I have already, chatted to some individuals from bands such as Stray from the Path, Bound in Fear. Who else we got? I Declare War. Also Jacob Lazot, who does pretty much most of the music that I use on my YouTube channel. He's a music producer. I'm going to be podcasting with him, having an interview with him. And I think we'll get Matt from Kublai as well. What do you reckon? There'll be heaps. It's going to be sick. Sharon Lampard, tell us about your mum. I'd rather not. Cheers, love. How embarrassing. Stop embarrassing me. Stop embarrassing me. She's a member of my channel, though. That's support, mate. That is support. Is your mum a member on your channel? Do you have a channel? I don't know. Jim Lindholm, love your channel. Thank you. Looking forward to your 200 kilos by 10. It's not far off. I've done it once before. I did it a week after I hit 260 kilos for one. So that's the strength range for 260 kilo bench press is 200 for 10 in my experience. And what I've seen with a few other people as well, that's pretty accurate. Lyndon, that's a deadlift question, so you know the rules. You know the rules. Don't make me ground you again. Your mother and I have spoken to you about this several times already. I will drink your chocolate milk, sir. Adrian M. Next what video you should put your own cake in the thumbnail. Let's see if the bros like it as much. I don't think they will. I don't think they will, unfortunately. So I will not be doing that. Thank you for the suggestion, however. Chris Orndorff, when is Vasa going to deadlift with you? That's a great question. That's a great question. I know I have a microphone here, but this is my microphone right now. Vasa, if you are watching this, stop being a coward. Okay, I'm deadlifting tomorrow, and apparently it's squat day for you. How convenient. How convenient that you have squats when I have deadlifts in the same place, same time. I don't think you want to borrow it, mate. I don't think you want to borrow it, and I don't blame you. You got no chance. Waiting for your response. Thank you. Burek. All right, last question, he says. Rate 1 to 10 the idea of running smaller junior for close grip bench incline after I'm done with current cycle. I rate it a 1 out of 10. You know how I say don't make things confusing and crazy? Prime example. That's just my opinion. What do I know? Yeah, that's right. I know something. Something about something. Ryan Fontanilla. It's a very exotic name, sir. Congratulations. What's your opinion on the utility of the dead bench press? How best used to boost strength? A dead bench press, like a pin press, if anyone's wondering, it's an excellent movement. It's a good movement. You can use it out of competition. I wouldn't use it too close to competition. I wouldn't use it for more than 4 weeks at a time. At the beginning of a training cycle, secondary bench press day perhaps. Yeah, it's not a staple of mine, but it's something I've done from time to time, and I found that it worked quite well. Yes. Jesse Hansel, again we meet. What's your opinion? No, I just did that question. That's not your question. Thoughts on Scotto press and Larson press? I think you already know my thoughts on this because I did a video not long ago raving about them. Maybe you didn't watch that video. If you didn't, I'm very upset. Why did you miss a video? If anybody here has not watched all 500 plus videos on my channel, what are you doing? What are you doing? Did I answer the question? Probably. Yeah, no, I didn't. They're good. Very good. Adrian M. Has to leave. Hey, bro. Thanks for being here from France. Have a good day wherever you are. That's fantastic. Webmaster 70. When are you going to try quit bench pressing? That's actually a good question. It's a good question. I think that I think that I will do it after I bench 600 pounds raw, just to see what I can do. Just to see what I can do. Not because I like it, but it's a challenge and it's something different. And I've been doing this for over a decade, so sometimes that's appealing. Nicola, have you used speed bench with bands? No, I'm not a fan of bands or chains for raw powerlifting. I think using true weight works the best for the most amount of people. It makes things less complicated again. And bands are typically used for weird reasons, in my opinion, because most of the time the issue is technique. In my opinion, I'm sure they work, but I'm sure that they also don't work just as much. It's late. It's late. Lyndon, so I prefer legs up bench than Larsen press. Again, I think like it's very similar. I use my legs up because it feels less funky on my lower back. It's the same function. It's just the feet up bench press, Larsen press, same shit, man. No stability. It's tough. Yes, sir. Jesse, I'm sorry to hear that. I forget what I bloody said. What was your question? I answered, I said that you know what I think about it. They're very good. I have a video I did a few weeks ago about them. You should go and watch it if you haven't. Shame on you. And then Mike Wilhelm comes in with his mum says hello. Has mum been watching the whole time? Was she late? She promised me that she would be there at 12 o'clock. It's now 12:48 and you're telling me that she only bloody just jumped on down? I'm upset. My feelings are hurt. But hello, Mrs. Wilhelm? Mrs. Mike's one? I don't know. How rude of me. I'm sorry. How embarrassing. Jesse working night shift in a hospital, bro. That's edgy. There's a lot of deceased individuals there. That's pretty creepy, bro. Be careful of the ghosts and the demons. You know, Satan will get you. The devil. So scary and spooky. Goodness me. Lyndon, are you a powerlifter or a strong man? Sir, I'm a human being. I'm a man. I'm a YouTube man. I've done powerlifting, I've done strongman, I've done both. I'm a strength athlete and a coach. There we go. Pham Hong Kwan. Do I need to go to failure on bench press day? No, you shouldn't go to failure often. We can go to failure in like our more low-cost accessory movements, but we don't want to go to failure with our main pressing movements or squatting movements or deadlift movements. We would like to at least have kilos in the tank or pounds in the tank, if not reps in the tank. Most of the time, for sure. Most of the time, for sure. Jesse, you should start a YouTube channel where it's like ghost adventures, and you walk around in the dark and scream randomly and sacrifice yourself to Satan for views and likes. I would watch that. Who else would watch that? What should we talk about? I made some notes here. We're going to play around with the times of this as well. Like, I know it's probably not a good time for a lot of people, but I figured that it'd be like Sunday morning for most people in America, because most of you, I think, are from the States, and it's pretty much early morning-ish over there. I could try it in the morning here, it'd be night time there. Maybe we can try that next week. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Webmaster, again, my close grip bench is stronger than regular grip bench. Should I just stick to it and press more with my triceps, or try and switch to build my regular width bench? You will have the potential to lift more weight, most likely with a wider press. It may take you longer to get there because you have to work through some technique issues and stability issues, but the most potential probably lies in the more efficient technique, which is going to be to reduce the range of motion. But you may feel weaker at first, which is why most people don't do these things and make these changes. So it just depends on Do you want to be strong now, or do you want to be stronger in 6 months? Hope that helps. Pham Hong Kwan, so I need to train accessories, lift hard and go to failure. Right, my man. We need to hit failure to some degree. We need to be working at that intensity to some degree. But yes, with accessory movements, not for every set, but for a handful of sets at least each week through your accessory movements, you need to push to that point. It's good for you in many ways: strength, hypertrophy, mental toughness, just for the challenge, health, cardio, whatever it is, do it. DQ Patrick, web me to POR kills my shoulders. What? I don't get it. Okay. Lyndon, sir, that's not a bench press question. That's it. You are going to be in the naughty corner if you keep this up, sir. I mean it. I don't know if there's a way that I can put you in timeout. I don't want to. Don't make me do it, please, sir. Bench press related questions or compliments only. Thank you. Divikos Power. Hi, everyone. Hey, bro. Thanks for being here, man. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on here for. It's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. But so far, it's been fun. And again, make sure you like this video if you are here. Simply liking this video would really mean the world to me. It would really help me sleep tonight and hopefully not have, nightmares fueled by hell and torment. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. How's the camera placement? I'm going to play around with that. I don't know if it's got my good angle or not tonight. I feel like it doesn't have my good angle, so I'm going to play around with the camera placement for sure. Because I do need to make sure that I look as striking as possible. That's important. Pinky on rings. That's relatively close grip, in my opinion. Index finger on rings is max comp width. So that's one hand width closer than you could go. Does dip better than shoulder press for making bench press stronger? Are dips better than shoulder press for making bench press stronger? Yes. Shoulder press doesn't make your bench press bigger. Although, again, further out of competition, it's really good to be strong through different planes, different angles. However, the dip will translate far more directly to your bench press than the overhead press, in my opinion. But there's better things to do than both of those things. Yes. Gunez Osman. Where are you from? Let me guess. Don't tell me, hold on. This is not racist, I'm not being racist. I'm just trying to guess by the names. Turkey. That's my guess. I'm trying to get from a 100 kilogram bench to a 140 kilogram bench. Do you recommend accessory exercises, or should I just focus on benching 3 to 4 times a week? Sir, he just confirmed that I was right with the guess. Well, I am very intelligent. Thank you. I recommend not doing benching 3 to 4 times a week. I recommend doing benching 2 times a week. And I recommend doing a lot of back work, a lot of tricep work, and really focusing on your technique and progressive overload. Making small progressions over a period of time is a surefire way to get there. Don't try and do it in a hurry, because you won't do it. Experience, trust me. Jesse, you are welcome, sir. Jethro, Coco. Oh, yeah, baby. Mr. Colt, man, is 1 rep max good to perform? It's fun. It's hella fun. It's my favorite. Is it good for you? No? Is it good for your mental health? If you get it, can be extremely detrimental as well. Goodness gracious me. You are welcome, Gunes. Gunes, you are welcome, sir. We're going 1 hour right now. 1 hour, baby. We've done 1 hour. I must have started 3 minutes early. I'm always early. I'm the milkman. That's what's up. That's what's up. Oh, I forgot Mum's on here. Sorry, Mum. Yeah, God damn it. Why can't you let me just have my things where I can just not have to worry about what I say because you're like listening? Shame on you. TV costs power. I see so many people in my gym having shoulder issues with their bench press because of the width of their grip, too wide and the rotator cuff suffers, in addition to have no power off the chest. The problem isn't the width of their grip, the problem is their lack of stability and strength through that range. That's the problem. And they have probably no idea of scapular retraction and depression, therefore their shoulder joints and surrounding muscles will be getting absolutely pumped. So it's not the width that is the issue. Remember that. That is not the issue. The grip width is not bad. A wide grip is not bad. What is bad is weak muscles and weak joints and bad technique. It's pretty sassy. That was sassed up. Sass it. DQ Patrick, I'm getting ready to go bench now. Well, sir, I don't envy you because I'm sore as shit. But have a good session. Have a good session. I'm probably going to go to bed soon too because I've got to be up early to go do deadlifts. I've got a 2-hour drive to get to the gym. Yes, 2 hours to get to Sebastian's gym. Yes. Webmaster, since your squat isn't up to par right now, why don't you do a push-pull comp? Because I don't want to. Because it doesn't sound fun to me because I want to max my deadlift out beyond raw standards. I've done 400 kilos multiple times. I've hit 410 before. Man, and there's no glory in a push-pull comp. Like, no one cares about push-pull. No one cares really at all. Full power is the thing. Strongman's cool, but there's also a lot of weight behind the deadlift world championships, which is the comp I'm going to try and qualify for. So that's my priority. And if I'm going to do powerlifting, it's going to be 3 lift. If I'm taking it seriously, I've done a few little things for fun here and there, single lifts, but taking it seriously, 3 lift. Yes, sir. Got a suggestion here for the camera. We're going to shift a little bit. No, we need it more this way. We need it more this way. Yep. Is that better? I'm more handsome now? Probably not. God damn it. Jethro, what is the difference between flat bench and arch benching? Flat bench is probably when you have 0 scapular retraction and depression, 0 thoracic extension, meaning that you're 1, putting yourself at high risk of injury if you press heavy, and 2, you look like you probably suck. Arch benching can be taken the piss out of, I agree. I do think that there needs to be a limit on that, or at least a minimum amount of distance the bar needs to travel, but the same could be said about the sumo deadlift. Oh, we're looking forward to talking about that next week. We're going to talk all about sumo deadlifts next week and how much they suck. Yes. Sharon, I can't put the camera any higher because I am as high as could be. Yes. Lyndon, do you use your legs when pushing in bench press? How could I push my legs without using my legs? It's getting late. Yes, I'm pushing my legs. I'm pushing my legs the whole time though, not just when I'm pushing the weight. Leg drive is from before the weight comes off the rack. I'm pushing my legs as hard as possible. That's why you don't see a kick. Maybe that's what you're wondering. I'm not sure. Divicos Power, do you think that the 800-pound bench press will fall soon? I don't know how close they got. But it's one of those things, right? Get a freak athlete and someone who's dedicated to just one thing. You can do some crazy stuff, and that's proof of it, right? That's a big bench press. Even a 700-pound bench press is wild, but that is reserved for people who only do bench press and really prioritize bench press for a long period of time. Bench press specialist is what you would call it. No, I'm not going to sit lower, Sharon. My seat is comfortable. My microphone is at the correct height. Don't tell me what to do. Zach, having some trouble with leg drive when I keep my heels on the ground. Don't have your heels on the ground. There's a good tip. Joe Derbyshire, my man, with the membership coming in strong. I think the IPF has done a decent job of getting rid of the bench depth issues. Not perfect, but I see a lot less 1-inch bullshit presses now. Yes, I'm not sure. I don't watch IPF. I don't watch any comps, powerlifting. It's not a spectator sport, that's for sure. If I want to see what happened, I'll look at a lifter's Instagram page during the competition. Check their stories. I need to cough. Oof. Pardon me. Well, guys, I think for now, we'll wrap it up. It's been over an hour. I hope you liked it. If you're still here, I don't know if you can you drop a comment in the normal comment section and just tell me that I looked good and that this is the best live ever and that whoever sees this is going to want to watch the next one? I don't know. Something like that. At least mention how handsome I am. At least that, please. Oh, Zach. Yeah. It's drive backwards. Think about driving yourself backwards with your heels down because it's easier for your ass to lift up with your heels down. So you need to really think about external rotation of the hips. Okay. Spread the floor apart with your feet. Squeeze your glutes. Push yourself back off the bench. It's probably the best I can do. And everyone, you are welcome. Everyone is welcome. Thank you for all your kind words, everybody. Everybody was pretty well behaved, except for Lyndon. Lyndon, mate, you've come in solid at the end there, but you really pushed it with at least 2 questions that weren't bench press related. So you almost got a timeout, but you redeemed yourself, so you are welcome. And we had one more fella come in from Canada. You're welcome, mate. If anyone's just jumped on now, I'm going to try, I don't know how, I'm going to figure it out. I think I can make this video permanent on my channel. So it'll be here to watch again in full. So if you jumped on halfway through, or you just jumped on now at the end, but you want to watch the whole thing, I did answer a bunch of questions. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now. And I think that's all we have to do. Hopefully this works when I do it. Thank you, guys. Until next time, you know what to do. I'm going to go to bed. You're going to go to the fucking gym. That's right, I said it. I said the thing. See you again.